Imagine standing on the rugged cliffs of Pembrokeshire, the sea crashing below, a dragon on a flag flapping in the wind. Now imagine this, that dragon not just as a symbol, but as the flag of a fully independent nation. Everyone talks about Scottish independence. It dominates headlines, debates, and even international attention. But here's a question almost no one asks. What if Wales broke away from the United Kingdom? Would it thrive as a small, modern European nation following the path of Ireland? Or would it collapse under the weight of economic dependence on England? Today, we are going to dig deep into this overlooked story, the economics of Welsh independence. Not the romantic slogans, not the sound bites, but the hard numbers, the hidden opportunities, and the global implications. So let's dive in. Wales is not just a region of Britain, it's a nation with one of the oldest living languages in Europe, a culture of resilience, and a history of being both vital and overlooked. Back in the 16th century, Wales was legally annexed into England through the laws in Wales Acts. From then on, London called the shots. And yet, Wales powered Britain's rise. Think about the Industrial Revolution. Welsh coal didn't just heat homes, it fueled steam engines, powered ships, and kept the British Empire running. Cardiff, once called the coal capital of the world, was exporting black gold to every corner of the globe. But here's the twist. While Wales was making Britain rich, much of that wealth never stayed in Wales. By the 20th century, when coal collapsed, unemployment soared. Communities that had powered an empire were left behind. This history matters because it shapes the independence debate today. Many in Wales still feel like their nation gave everything and got little back. Fast forward to now, how is Wales actually doing economically? Let's look at the numbers. Wales produces around 78 billion pound in GDP per year, roughly 3.5% of the UK economy. In a per person basis, that's about 26,000 pound per head, below the UK average of around 34,000 pounds. Translation: Wales is poorer than most parts of England. In fact, it's one of the lowest GDP per capita regions in Western Europe. And here's a key point. Wales runs what economists call a fiscal deficit. That means the Welsh government spends a lot more than it raises in taxes. How much more? Around 13 billion pounds every year. That gap is filled by transfers from London, essentially English taxpayers subsidizing Welsh public services. Without those transfers, the NHS in Wales, schools, roads, pensions, they would all face severe cuts. But it's not all bad news. Wales does have strengths. Advanced manufacturing, especially aerospace around North Wales, a strong university sector, agriculture and food exports, and tourism, millions of visitors drawn to its castles, coastlines. Still, when you strip it down, the Welsh economy is heavily dependent on England. Almost 60% of Welsh trade is with the rest of the UK. This is where things get controversial. Let's play out independence. First, money. If London stops sending that 13 billion pound subsidy, where does Wales find it? Higher taxes, lower spending, borrowing more. None of those are politically easy. Second, currency. Would Wales keep the pound? That would tie its hands to London's monetary policy. Would it join the euro? That would mean applying to the EU, building up institutions, and eventually giving up monetary independence to Brussels. Or create its own Welsh currency. That might sound patriotic, but setting up a central bank, convincing people to trust a brand new currency, That's a huge challenge. Third, debt. If Wales leaves, how much of the UK's £2.7 trillion national debt does it take on? Pro independence campaigners say we shouldn't take any. London would never agree. Even a proportional share could saddle Wales with tens of billions. Fourth, trade. Remember, most Welsh exports go to England. If independence created a border, customs checks, tariffs, that's economic pain. Imagine Welsh farmers struggling to sell lamb to English supermarkets. So the survival question isn't just emotional, it's brutally economic. But here's the other side of the story. Independence isn't only about risks. Wales does have opportunities. First, green energy. Wales has some of the best tidal resources in Europe. The Severn estuary alone could generate massive amounts of renewable electricity. Wind farms across the hills and coastlines could turn Wales into a net energy exporter. In an energy hungry world, that's power, literally and politically. Second, universities. Cardiff, Swansea, Bangor, they are small but research driven. With the right investment, Wales could position itself as a knowledge economy nation. Third, EU membership. If Scotland left and rejoined the EU, Wales might follow. Being inside the single market would give access to 450 million consumers. It could replace English trade with European trade over time. Number four, identity and tourism. An independent Wales could market itself globally, like Ireland or Iceland. Cultural revival, Welsh language pride, sports diplomacy, rugby as soft power. So while the short term economics look harsh, the long term opportunity exists if Wales plays its cards right. Now let's zoom out. How would the world react if Wales declared independence? For England, it would be a shock. London could lose Scotland, then Wales. What remains of the UK would shrink into just England and Northern Ireland. The United Kingdom wouldn't look so united anymore. For the EU, Wales would be a mixed case. On one hand, Brussels likes new pro EU nations. On the other, they fear encouraging separatism in places like Catalonia. For NATO and defense, it's tricky. The UK's nuclear submarines are in Scotland. Wales doesn't host nukes, but it does have key military bases. Would an independent Wales build its own defense forces or rely on NATO? That costs money. Globally, recognition would come, but slowly. It took years for countries like Kosovo to be widely recognized. Wales wouldn't face the same resistance, but it wouldn't be automatic either. So, what's the verdict? If Wales became independent tomorrow, the short term economics would be brutal. A £13 billion hole in public finances, trade barriers with England, the uncertainty of currency and debt. But in the long run, Wales could build an identity around green energy, universities, culture, and tourism. Maybe even punch above its weight on the global stage. It's not an impossible dream, it's just a dream that comes with a very high price tag. So the real question is this: would independence give Wales the freedom to finally write its own story? Or would it leave the nation poorer, weaker, and regretting the break? I want to hear what you think. Is Wales better off staying in the UK or striking out alone? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this is a debate that's not only just beginning.